Hello, I'm Eric Bjorn, and I put this video together of our dive to the USS Kittiwake. It's off 7 Mile Beach at Grand Cayman Island. This is June 2015. I was down there with my brother Kurt and his family. We've been doing a lot of shore dives, and we decided we wanted to take a boat dive and dive on this wreck. The Kittiwake was actually sunk in 2011, and the very top structure is in only 15 feet of water. The bottom rests on about 64 feet. That was our dive leader, Kim. She was from Ireland, very nice woman, and this was actually only her second week on the island. But she knew what she was doing and gave us a very good tour of the wreck. This is me approaching the propeller. Seemed pretty big. I know there's bigger props out there, but that was my first time ever swimming through a propeller. That's Carl and his wife Sarah. Sarah's a relatively new diver, but she really did great during the entire week. That's my brother's wife Linda. Carl's making the Go Frog sign. He's a graduate of TCU, as is Sarah. He's a combat diver and an Army Ranger. Kind of a talented individual, I'd say. Here we are entering the ship for the first time. Carl's going in. Followed by Linda. I guess I'm next. You can see from the camera that it's pretty dark in there. And the only time things are really lit up is with a flashlight or when you're leaving the ship. Lots of structures. I honestly didn't think that we were going to get to go in as deep as we did. There were all these silverfish swimming everywhere, just thousands and thousands of them. They look pretty cool when you shine the flashlight on them. So we're looking down into the bowels of the ship. We certainly didn't go down there. It was pretty eerie to see all this. So we were kind of on edge, and then this happened. A monster grouper who was feeding on those fish came up all irritated, shaking his head, opening his mouth. I'm not sure if he was threatening or just adjusting his jaw because he was eating so much. But he just kind of lazily made his way out the porthole. I wonder how many people went up and down those stairs. There's Sarah. I couldn't imagine doing this kind of dive. I think she's only been diving for a year or two. But everything went great. There's Linda. And out into the light, being careful not to hit your tank on the top of the porthole. Now I wasn't wearing any wetsuit, and so I had to be extra careful. I did not want to scrape my skin on the rusty hulk. There's my brother Kurt. Coming out. He and I had so much fun doing GoPro videos of all of our different dives. Here we are swimming along the deck. I just love the three-dimensional aspect of a wreck dive. Look at all this trapped air. It's almost like a silvery mirror. I tried to get a shot of a reflection. There you can see the camera and the light, the red light flashing. Then we asked Kim to help us with a group shot. I forgot to tell her that I was shooting in the video mode, and so she thought she was just going to be pressing stills. So I had to go back to her and say, no, it continues, so just shoot some video and we'll grab the stills off the video. We ended up getting a really good group shot out of it. definite Christmas card material. There we go. And photo. What a handsome group, huh? So at this point, we're probably maybe in, I don't know, 20 or 25 feet of water. Here's Big Carl showing off for the camera. He's been through unbelievable dive training as a combat diver. And he likes to make his eyes all burny from the salt water for some strange reason. Here we are entering yet again. That's Marta going in next. What he looks there. I thought it would be fun to peek into the porthole and see what's going on. It's kind of an eerie shot. There's Carl hanging over the edge. Come aboard, Carl. I think we preferred diving with the critters on the reef, but it was really fun to see the structure and think about the history. This ship was in action for 50 years. Never saw any combat that I know of, and it was commissioned right after the end of World War II. This is actually the bathroom, and they told us that there were mirrors that you'd be able to look into. I wish I hadn't shined the light in there, but you can see my reflection, and then very briefly you can see me and my mask. It's not too often that you get to see yourself underwater, so I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know who cracked the windows or the mirrors. And back outside again, so it's a lot of in and out, in and out. Carl's hanging over the edge. He and I were the only ones who didn't wear wetsuits. The water was really quite warm, about 80, 81 degrees. Kurt says he wore a wetsuit just for protection. I guess I believe him, because you certainly didn't need it. It would have been nice to have a wetsuit on this dive. I did scrape my elbow and was worried about, getting a rusty cut, which could be nasty. So these were some jack fish that were also feeding on the silverfish. We don't know why the silverfish were congregating there. Maybe it was just a good breeding ground for them, but it also made an excellent feeding ground for the bigger fish. These big spools here are for lifting submarines that are, stranded underwater. That's what this whole thing was, is a submarine rescue vessel. I guess that's a fire hose if there's any deck fires or any problems. Stand up there and you can rain water down on any of the fires. I think Carl might think it's a gun or something. This tower allowed us to look all the way down into the bowels of the ship. I guess it's got to be a smokestack of some sort. I can't imagine what else would go down that deep. Here I'm coming over the edge. There's Kurt. See what he can find. Taking some shots over the edge. It was fun to compare the video he got with the video I got. Now Marta descended down into the stack. It's almost like a vertical wind tunnel, like she was skydiving in a vertical wind tunnel. But you just enjoy the three-dimensional aspect of scuba diving. That's another group down below us. There were probably 2 or 3 other groups on the wreck when we were on the wreck, but we just barely ran into them. It was so big, it was easy to stay separate. There's the bow. And I think our dive is just about over at this point. Time to make our way to the surface. Nancy Estabrook is the owner of the dive shop that we used, and she was instrumental, overcame a lot of hurdles in bringing this wreck to the Grand Cayman. There I am, making my way to the surface. Wanted to just get a final glance, a la Titanic, of the bow of the ship. And there's another group you can see that's still exploring. That's our dive boat, and everybody's doing a safety decompression stop at about 10-15 feet. There's Kim, having fun. She's been diving forever, and she still enjoys just playing and having fun. That's the gang. Kurt, Linda, nope, I'm sorry, Kurt, Sarah, Linda, Carl, and Marta. It was a good dive. This was a plaque that was put on the main deck, and it gives some details about the Kittiwake. Hope you enjoyed our trip to the Kittiwake. It was a lot of fun. I'd recommend it highly to any divers that want to get a wreck dive under their belt.